Harrell, the Chief Executive Officer of ClearPath. I'm excited to introduce Jeremy today as he's a proud alumni of my staff. From 2011 to 2013, Jeremy served as my legislative director before moving over to the United States Senate and then on to ClearPath. First as our policy director and then eventually moving up to the ranks of CEO. I'm proud to see a great Capitol Hill staffer succeed and join us here today on the other side of the dais. Welcome, Jeremy. I yield.
Thank you, Mr. Harrell. You are now recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Dr. Gosar, for the very kind introduction. It's great to be back here at the committee. Thank you, Ranking Member. Excited to discuss this important topic today. My name is Jeremy Harrell, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of ClearPath. Securing mineral supply chains is paramount to our nation's economic competitiveness. Global demand is rapidly increasing, and our nation's dependence on foreign supply chains is a significant risk to our national security. We often take for granted the materials in everyday consumer products and the clean energy that powers our nation. Estimates show the U.S. may need to double grid capacity over the coming decades to meet rising demand. Expanding this capacity requires substantial infrastructure that relies on various materials. The International Energy Agency predicts that by 2040, global demand for minerals like lithium, cobalt, graphite, and nickel could grow 20 to 40 times. Our nation needs a strategy that synchronizes U.S. R&D capabilities with targeted free market incentives, regulatory modernization, and proactive trade policies. That strategy should start with 3 key objectives. 1, restore predictability to the permitting process. 2, streamline judicial review of administrative actions. And 3, de-risk private investment in domestic mining and processing. First, predictability is essential. Never has the phrase time is money been more appropriate. A typical mining project loses more than 1/3 of its value because of permitting delays. Far too often, these delays make a project financially unviable. The energy and infrastructure projects most often impacted by this permitting purgatory offer the greatest benefits to our nation. Take the largest proven lithium reserve in the U.S., Nevada's Thacker Pass mine. Initial exploration began in 2007, but it didn't receive approval until 2021. Several permitting issues delayed the project, and it is now slated to begin production in 2028. 21 years later is simply unacceptable. The U.S. must eliminate unnecessary bureaucracy where the economic and environmental benefits outweigh the opportunity cost. The National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA, has been contorted far beyond Congress's initial intent. NEPA is intended to be a procedural law that requires federal agencies to assess the environmental impact of their actions, not one that imposes new substantial requirements. The NEPA process is just the start to letting America build. Agencies ranging from the EPA to Interior need to also issue relevant permits, such as Endangered Species Act permits, Clean Water Act permits, and others before construction. New reforms should expedite the approval process for projects that bring net benefits and comply with laws to ensure clean water and clean air. This can be done faster without sacrificing environmental outcomes. Second, the judicial review of agency actions must be reformed. The current system is tilted towards those who seek to delay or block projects. It's simple. Once approved, legal challenges should be addressed, yet nearly every major mining project faces litigation that drags on for years. This results in years of delays that change little to nothing about the project. Litigants exploit these delays, aiming to stretch the process until developers run out of funding and ultimately abandon projects. Congress could consider limiting legal challenges to plain errors related to the natural resources laws, narrowing the scope, and setting strict review timelines. Without changes, our nation is needlessly undermining our own mineral supply chain goals. And third, the federal government could leverage its financial tools to de-risk private sector investment. Chinese state-owned enterprises use heavy subsidies to undercut American companies, distort prices, and dominate markets, leading to shortages of critical minerals and increased prices. Out-subsidizing China is not an effective strategy, but targeted incentives like the 45X tax credit, public-private partnerships, and low-cost debt financing can foster investment and protect American industries from unfair competition. The 45X tax credit could be strengthened to support U.S. production goals. The credit should provide meaningful incentives for domestic mines that send mineral concentrates to the U.S. or allied refineries, and it should allow domestic refiners to claim the credit. Leveraging these types of tools can accelerate new mines and processing facilities. These are just a few common sense reforms that Congress could consider to further American mineral security and manufacturing competitiveness. As global demand for minerals increases, the U.S. will either responsibly develop resources at home and alongside of our allies, or continue to rely on foreign sources, many of which pose human rights concerns, national security risks, and significant environmental consequences. ClearPath believes the U.S. should lead from the front. I look forward to working with this committee to push common sense reforms across the finish line. Thank you for the opportunity.